Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Rival Guerrero Intelli-shock Cyber Edition bag gloves. So stay tuned. So today we have these Rival Guerrero Intelli-shock bag gloves that we're going to do a close-up weigh-in and review on. I got mine in the Cyber Edition color scheme, which is this green and black. Looks like the Matrix kind of design to it. And these are basically the Rival Guerrero HDEF bag gloves with just a layer of this D3O material over the knuckle area. Now the Intelli-shock D3O material Rival has used before in their other gloves as well as their headgear. And the premise behind this material that you see here is that it hardens upon impact. So it has a much like a more denser feel to it, kind of resembles EVA. And just to give you guys a close-up with the gloves, these gloves are made in Pakistan. You do have that Rival logo that's embroidered into the back of the glove with some of that Matrix style lettering font. Looks pretty cool. The actual design of the glove, you can see it also has kind of looks like a motherboard, like circuitry on a control board to kind of give it that look. Over in the knuckles, you have that D3O, has these little perforated holes. I'd say the biggest issue I found with these gloves is going to be the craftsmanship, mainly the stitching. You can see the stitching in certain areas could be cleaner. You do have this RFX Guerrero Intelli-shock Cyber Edition. It says bag glove. That's all embroidered. And then on the palm side, you do have the wrist lock technology, which I really like a lot. You have these plastic D-rings, so you would obviously never use these gloves for sparring. You do have the D3O tag. This kind of polyester nylon liner that's really nice, moisture wicking. Attached thumb. All other construction says handcrafted with pride. You do have a good amount of ventilated holes on the palm. Medium-sized grip bar, and then the Rival logo on the fingertip compartment. These are 10 ounces. They also offer these in 8 ounces as well, and 2 other color schemes. So overall, a really nice performing glove. We'll go ahead and put these on the scale, see how much these weigh. But again, you can kind of see the stitching is probably the area of concern, I would say, the most, especially since that D3O patch, it's stitched on to the knuckle area. But again, kind of a close-up of the stitching on the thumb, palm area stitching. Here's that V-strap, which is nylon. Again, overall pretty clean, but just again, areas of opportunity. You can see kind of the where they had to reinforce the stitching on the knuckle part. Here's the edges and the corners. So let's go ahead and put these on the scale. Start off with the right glove. The right glove weighs right in at 12.5 ounces. So they're about 2.5 ounces over. This one is right at 11.8. So they're not accurate as far as weight. They're actually overweight by about an average of 2 ounces. And my guess is because of this D3O layer that adds a little extra weight to these gloves. So let's go ahead and do the review. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here. And today I'm going to be doing a review of these Rival Guerrero Intelli-shock Cyber Edition bag gloves. Cyber Edition is going to be this green and black color scheme with this Matrix inspired design on it. I got mine in 10 ounces. You can also get this glove in 8 ounces. Comes only in this wrist lock 2 V-strap configuration to give you that maximum support for your wrist area. And the biggest difference between these and the HDEF or the SFF model obviously is going to be the D3O they use over this knuckle area. You have 2 other colored schemes to choose from. Aside from this Cyber Edition, you also have a P4P edition, which is going to be a blue and a yellow, kind of resembles the Lomachenko editions they did a while back. And they also have an Undisputed edition, which is going to be a white and a gold. Now this glove is currently a Canada exclusive only. I was able to get my hands on a pair of these. Eventually they're going to be coming stateside here to the United States as well as to the UK. So be on the lookout for that. I'm sure Rival's going to announce that on their social media. Now design-wise, you can see here, it does have everything that's embroidered with the Rival logo on the back of the glove. You have kind of that Matrix looking font that goes around there, and the Cyber Edition kind of has more of a technical, like a computer motherboard look to it with this kind of design that's actually printed into the leather. Again, it has Intelli-shock You have this D3O layer that's stitched on to the top of the knuckle area right there. You do have the rival logo embroidered on the fingertip. Medium-sized grip bar that says handcrafted with pride. Again, embroidered, double stitching. Ventilated holes on the palm. And then you have this nylon wrist lock 2 configuration with these plastic D-rings. And the whole premise of this is just to ratchet your wrist in to really lock it in. Obviously, you're going to be using these gloves primarily just for bag work and hitting the mitts, so you would never use these for sparring because of this plastic right here, and obviously because of the size of the glove. It says HDEF. This is essentially a HDEF glove. All they did differently is they just added this D3O. So essentially, this is the same glove with just a piece of D3O over the knuckles. So that's essentially what you're paying for with these gloves, is for that little extra layer of D3O, which I'll get into here in a little bit. It says bag glove, 10 ounces, rival. Again, vertical stitching patch right here, pretty nice and soft. The actual padding support on the back of the wrist, I'd say 1/2 inch of medium density padding, about 1/4 inch right here on the front of the palm. On the wrist side, it goes about all the way up to where the thumb piping is at, and then on this side where the stitching is, that's where the support is. You can see this Velcro strap, again, how it ratchets your wrist in there, and I'll show you here when I put these on in a minute. And then the Velcro that's angled on the back of the glove. Quality of these gloves are pretty good. The only areas I would say of opportunity would be the stitching. You know, the leather quality on this is pretty nice. It has more of a kind of an eggshell finish to it. They're not super shiny, they're not dull or matte looking. It's kind of right in the middle. But the stitching, I would say, is, you know, areas like that. Anytime you add more stitching to a glove, you're kind of running into that risk of some durability issues, especially on contact surfaces like right here on the knuckle area. Some of the stitching, obviously they had to kind of go over it. Could have been done a little bit cleaner. Right here on the edges of the glove, again, could be done cleaner. But nothing major, you know, fingertip where it meets the thumb or the index finger. Again, you can see some of the stitching right there. That's kind of reinforcing. Double stitching on the palm side looks pretty good. The cut of the leather looks pretty good as well. All the holes are cut out pretty clean on the palm, just to show you guys. The D-rings are nice and reinforced. This nylon strap feels pretty good as well. It doesn't feel cheap. You can see they use some double stitching to stitch the nylon straps in. Right here as well, where it connects to the piping, and some of the stitching where the tab of the Velcro strap is at. And then the back, just to show you guys. So they stitch all that in as well. And then the back of where the actual D-rings are, you can see they loop it over to really give that support. So it just stays nice and stitched in there. The liner looks good. Polyester nylon liner on the inside. It says 10 ounces right there. These gloves are made in Pakistan, where a vast majority of boxing equipment is made, including gloves. So you have that tag in there that shows the origin of where these gloves are made. So overall, pretty solid. I would just say the stitching is the area I would be the most concerned with these gloves. Comfort of these gloves are exceptional. I think I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. I think Rival makes some of the best gloves in terms of ergonomics, hand ergonomics. You know, one thing you notice when you get some gloves in the mail and you put your hands in them, that's probably the first thing you notice is how comfortable they are. You know, a lot of times when you get gloves, some gloves take some breaking in. Some gloves are nice and soft when you put your hands in them. The thumb positioning, you notice all those things when you put your hands into your gloves. So these slide in real nice and comfortable. You can see the kind of the ratcheting system they use for this wrist lock 2 technology. And essentially what this ends up doing is it kind of pulls everything together and kind of brings in this side of the glove closer to keep everything nice and locked in. So you're essentially creating like a splint type brace for your wrist. And it also goes over the lower portion of your palm. So you're not just getting the support underneath this hinge point, you're getting it almost across the lower portion of your palm, which is really important to reduce that hyperflexion when you're punching, or if you land at a wrong angle. So you can see it locks in really nicely. The strap goes around and you have that wrist lock because of these 2 D-rings to really lock your wrist in. Thumb placement is optimal, feels really good. My thumb doesn't jam at all. Nice and long, doesn't feel like it's too stubby and jams on the tip of my finger. Piping feels really good, nice and comfortable. And right off the bat, you know, I've been using these gloves for about 2 weeks now. We're broken in right off the bat. So I didn't have really much of a breaking period. You can see I can open and close my hand with relative ease. There's really no resistance there, which is great. Liner feels really nice on the inside. You can actually feel they use a softer polyurethane kind of foam on the inside, either polyurethane or cotton. So your hands feel really nice and well padded. And it doesn't feel like your hands being suffocated. It feels really nice and padded. Some of the Mexican style gloves I have, they use a latex, but they don't put any kind of softer padding on the interior of the gloves. When you put your hand in there, you feel like there's a void because they don't actually add any softer padding to kind of wrap your hands in. And Rival does that with these. So excellent fingertip compartment, feels nice and deep. And you can really make an excellent fist with these because of how broken in they are. So comfort is excellent with these gloves. Now the protection and the performance obviously is going to be the big one. These basically being an HDEF glove with just this D3O. I think it does an excellent job as far as getting your shots in, landing some good shots, feeling the shots with these gloves. I don't know if the D3O adds more shock absorption. I just know that when you land, this surface right here hardens. So the big difference between these and the HDEF model and even the SSF model is you get a little bit more of a pop. I wouldn't necessarily feel like less shock absorption. I feel like these and the HDF do the same level of absorbing shock, but the big difference I would say between this and that other model, the HDEF, is that you get more of a pop sound. So when you land on the bag, you get more of a pop because of the surface of this Intelli-shock hardening up upon impact. So you get kind of a louder popping smack sound, if you know what I mean, compared to the HDF. You still get it with that EVA style foam, but it's almost like levels up. So like the SFF model, which is just a polyurethane foam, kind of resembles more of a softer horsehair filled Mexican glove. It's a little bit more of a thudding sound. And then the HDF, you get more of a crack. And then these, the Intelli-shocks, because it hardens, you get the most crack of these. Now, again, the shock absorption, I feel is the same. In my opinion, the big difference is going to be basically the sound and the satisfying pop that you get out of these gloves. But I feel that the wrist of protection, the support on the wrist is excellent. I really like, especially how it starts right here at the thumb and it kind of goes down and creates that V. And that's what really, I feel like it pulls your thumb closer. And kind of like what the Onyx X Factor, the premise behind those gloves as well were, is that you're essentially trying to pull your thumb in. That way you can really make an excellent fist with these. So I feel like with these gloves, you land perfectly on your two front knuckles. You can see the surface right there is really nice for landing a solid punch. You can see the actual D3O is super firm. The material here is hard, and you can actually hear that when I kind of tap on that D3O, and you get that excellent pop that you're looking for with these gloves. So I think the protection and performance is really nice. Shock absorption wise though, I feel is pretty much the same as the HDEF model minus the pop that you get with these gloves. Now cost wise, these gloves are 199 Canadian dollars. So they're basically 50 Canadian dollars more than their standard Guerrero bag gloves, which I believe are 149 Canadian dollars. So conversion rate, I'm assuming when they bring these to the United States, they're going to be $50 more here in the States as well. So you're essentially paying $50 more for a piece of D3O. And that's really subjective. That's up to you. If you really value that extra pop that you get with the D3O material, then you could spend that $50 more. I mean, if you're $150 into it already, you know, and you really like the design, you want something a little bit more custom looking, you know, with this edition, the P4P or even the Undisputed edition, and you're willing to cough up a little bit more money, that's completely up to you. I think the designs look really cool. I think the glove performs great. And especially, you know, for the custom look that you're getting with the Cyber Edition, I definitely like it. For me, I always value comfort of a glove, the hand ergonomics. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I've always been a big fan of Rival products, and I think they did a really great job with these Cyber Edition Guerrero bag gloves. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below. I'll put the link in the description box where you can get these gloves. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.